What a magical year it's been, 2023. Well, it's over, buddy. I got my butt kicked this year. Been going from one thing to the next, you know what I'm saying? I got into running, but mostly because of the cops chasing me, and I got into clanging and banging in the gym, dude, getting huge. Oh yeah, it's been a busy year. So let's rant a little bit. Let's do a year in review. Now, a lot of people out there forgot all about Dominaria Remastered, but I sure didn't. Dude, there were a bunch of bangers I picked up. This is one of the most underrated sets of the year for me. I'm all about that Urza's Incubator, dude. That's a fantastic tribal enabler that tanked in price. Plus, we had some really awesome tutors, man, and Tomb being my favorite for all those delicious necrotic ooze combos. It's still about $6. This is an instant. People underestimate instant speed graveyard tutors, but not Nikki G. Next came probably one of my favorite sets of the year, Phyrexia All Will Be One. This set was stacked, dude. I'm not a huge fan of the oily foils or whatever the heck they're calling them, but this set had a lot of fantastic cards, tons of flavor, man, a lot of body horror. I like that stuff. I enjoyed seeing the twisted Phyrexians, their twisted architecture, and the Dominus cycle, those big monster dudes who are just hanging out in the Phyrexian underworld. The sword from this set is a bit underrated in my opinion. Whenever I manage to get this out, it's been an incredible enabler. It's colorless land ramp, dude. It's fantastic, brother. Figuring out use case scenarios for Venerated Rot Priest was a lot of fun too, very powerful card. The commander product for this set was a little tame, but it had some bangers like Clever Concealment. I'm a huge fan of phasing in Commander, man, very hard to answer. Then along came March of the Machine. I had a whole grip of commander decks, and along with them came Bitter Thorn. Most of these commander decks are duds, dude. But the Bitter Thorn is just a germ. It's a more expensive Sword of the Animus, pretty neat equipment, and there were some banger reprints in this set. Now the meat of the fun in this set for me was the Multiverse Legends. So many legends got the showcase treatment. I'm going to showcase some of them right here. It breathed a little life in the old Skithrix, Baral, a bunch of Ikoria legends. Now the main set had some real bangers. Itali was like $3 when the set came out. I opened one in a pack and I was just like, alright, cool man, whatever, I'll make a deck, dude. So then I made a deck, I did a video on it. I've used it a couple times in my play group and it just stomps. Now it's like 30 bucks. Fantastic, fun commander. There's just so much in this set, so many utility cards. A ton of powerful niche staples like C-Double, Sirach, and Goreclaw. I was a huge fan of this set, man. There was a ton of unique legend pairings that made for interesting mashups too. And then, like a dirty toot under the cover of darkness, Aftermath scooted its way into the world, like a small dog cleaning its anal glands on the carpet of my mind. This set had some unique mechanics, some sweet powerful cards, a bunch of planeswalkers. It got desparked and had some awesome mechanics, great build arounds, but this 5-card nonsense for a regular price basically tanked it into nothing. I got a box for 40 bucks recently. It was fun to open, but it should have been that from the beginning, dude. There was $40 worth of cards in there. The set was so bad the damn Pinkertons got involved. They're thugs from the 1920s gangster films who used to break kneecaps for striking workers. Yeah, you think you can strike against a railroad, eh? Oh, but don't worry then. Like the sun cresting the horizon on the third day of the siege of Helm's Deep, the Lord of the Rings came into the world. The One Ring was also kind of crapped upon, especially by some more popular influencers like the Professor. The Professor said that it cheapened the game to reduce the set to a lottery card fiasco, but it drew a bunch of players in, man. It got a lot of media. I mean, what do you want to do? Some idiot made $2 million, so good for him, dude. Why can't people just be happy for that guy? Who cares, dude? I'm tempted just to proxy it up, but you can't read the damn thing anyways. Now, I will say one thing, this really upset me, dude. I ordered a Host of Mordor pre-con for 45 bucks. The company never shipped it. They basically took a bunch of orders, but they didn't have the decks, man. So I got screwed out of that one. I'm still sore about that. They refunded me, but the price climbed to an absurd $90. No way I'm paying that. Anyways, man, one of my favorite commanders of the year, the Old Treebeard. He came out of that set. That guy gets huge and has ward, so watch out, man. We also got some Nazgul, but the dang Nazguls are so super pricey. I mean, I give up, man. $6 for an uncommon, dude. People are in a fervor about this set. This set and its commander product had some mechanically awesome cards, really fun set to crack and draft. You know, this was a breath of fresh air, honestly. Commander Masters. Now, I'm a little torn on this set because it tanked the price of a lot of cards that I wanted in the first place. You know, I was getting cards for $2 that were $6, $8 before that. I got cards for $5 that were $19, you know what I'm saying? Just a super greedy set. Why the heck was this $300 a box, man? The set booster boxes are still around 300 bucks. The set was a success for people who wanted cheap reprints, that's all I can say. I didn't buy any sealed product at all, dude. Probably spent like 30 bucks on singles. I got a bunch of demons, commander staples, really cheap. I really dug this set, man. But again, without MSRP, local game stores are getting hosed. Nobody can afford $300 boxes in this dang economy, brother. But they reprinted the Dragon, so that's pretty cool, I guess. The Commander product was absolute dog dude. I don't care what you say about these Sliver decks or the Eldrazi decks. I think they're garbage. These decks were $50 too much. Oh man, take a minute and appreciate this art. This is what every Magic fan wants to walk into, dude. Imagine the scenario for this to be happening. What the heck are they doing over there? It's dang fairies. Wilds of Eldraine. Love the flavor, love the setting, love the fairies and their little outfits, dude. We had some excellent Virtue adventure cards. We had the Enchanting Tales. They took some super expensive cards and like Aggravated Assault, Fiery Emancipation, you know, Intruder Alarm, made them a little more affordable, and I love that, man. This was a great set. Doctor Who, man, this was not my jam. I gotta say that right up front. I skipped this entire set. It just seems boring. The enemies are boring, dude. They look like R2-D2s. The lore is boring. It's just like a guy, you know. It seems like a bunch of British people hitting each other with umbrellas, calling each other names like Dodgy Ponce and stuff like that. There are a few good cards, but you gotta dig really deep, man. Ixalan, now we're talking. You got pirates, you got vampires, you got merfolk out there slapping each other right in the fish face. That's magical, dude. I'm a fan of dinosaurs. A lot of great commanders. My pick is Don Andrés for a brand new theft commander. Makes everybody salty. Hackball. That guy is super powerful, man. Call him Cackball around here. And you also had some sweet special guest cards. These, I don't know what the heck these are in, man, but there's some good ones in there. And you got the Jurassic World cards like the old Indoraptor here. Lots to love about this set. Now also peppered in throughout the year, you have Secret Lairs. I bought exactly 0 and kind of ignored the whole thing. There were 300 plus cards, some have really bonkers art. Take a look at this Tevish Zot. I love this. Take a look at this Wheel of Misfortune. I have this card in a bunch of decks, but these Secret Lairs are just not worth it. It's a minimum of 40 bucks to get these things once you factor in shipping plus tax. It's usually like 4 cards, man, 5 cards if you're lucky. It's like a psychology experiment or something. Some of these have 0 value, 0 playable cards, but more often they flirt with a $30 value in 1 or 2 cards, then give you doo-doo for the other 3 cards. Honestly, man, unless you're really into a particular set or art style, just use TCG Player to go buy the single that you want. Let's take this Food Chain for example. Food Chain classic combo card. There was a whole archetype around Prosh Food Chain back in the day. Used to be $30 card because it only had 1 printing in an old set, Mercadian Masks. Well, it got a list printing, a double masters printing, and then this Secret Lair. It's pretty cheap, $14 or so with shipping, which is comparable to the older versions. If you really like this art, if you really wanted this card individually, just buy the single, dude. Take a look at this beautiful art. You have Soul Ring, Thought Vessel, Lightning Greaves, Arcane Signet, Command Tower, really awesome looking commander staples. It's that same price, you know, $40 plus whatever tax. You can buy the singles off TCG Player for cheap. A little less, a little more than the regular ones, but it kind of illustrates how much of a ripoff these are. Now don't get me started on the Secret Lair commander decks. What are these, $150 plus tax, dude? I don't know if they charge shipping, but let's say that they didn't. People were all over the Angel deck saying that it had the value, but brother, that's a super premium price for that value. I could get you in a really well optimized deck with a banging mana base for 150 bucks, man. I don't think these are definitely bad value on paper, but it just feels scummy to ask that much for a commander deck when they put out the Warhammer 40k decks for $45 to $50 each. I mean, they had new art, new designs too, bunch of new designs. Plus the starter commander decks that were $25 last year. It just seems like precons have slid off a cliff, man. Though I understand that these decks are for newer players, some are really good, it seems they vary wildly. And that's another note for this year in review. We got like 25 pre-constructed decks in 2023. That's both a good and a bad thing. The good part is that there's a ton of options for newer players to get in and play for a modest entry-level fee of $50, let's say. The bad part is the massive reprint dilution, the unwillingness to print good lands into these decks, and the half-baked parasitic mechanics that come through. Growing Threat, man. Take a look at this big muscle. Come on, dude. That deck is selling for 30 bucks right now. Unfortunately, that's the fate of a lot of these precons, man. It's way too much to keep track of. It's honestly just too much. I mean, again, man, honestly, through a whole year, I tried to buy 1 precon, but effectively bought 0. That's crazy, man. I'm an enfranchised player here. Just wait 6 months if you really like a deck, scoop it up out of the bargain bin. Even the Lord of the Rings precons are starting to soften as demand winds down. You can get the set of 4 for $175 right now, shipping included. That's $44 per deck. That to me is reasonable. You got to factor in tax, but it's damn close to 2014 prices. It's not just a few sets either. There are like 90 below $200 ready to go on TCG Player right now. All in all, that's not a bad deal, but you had to wait and wait a little more. I think that'll come down a little more too, dude. Now about the way of the past and the way of the future, and about this channel. I keep my personal details off of here, but I'm totally happy with the growth of this channel right now. I honestly wish I had more time to spend on it. I have a regular job, super high stress, super demanding, but very rewarding. I love it, but I have such a limited time to do stuff. My goal for this year is to ramp up to 10,000 subscribers, which is right around the corner, and have an offering on Patreon, like something cheap, $2 a month or something. I want to have a Discord that I can hop into, do deck doctor, stuff like that, something functional. Maybe we can get some government documents leaked on the server, get a little press, you know what I'm saying, dude? Let me know what you guys would like to see. And my other goal is to provide powerful, useful, high-quality information to all you the bros out there. Special thanks to all the supporters, my dude Tyler popping in almost every video. Thanks for all the comments and views. It's been a ton of fun this year, man. Anyways, love each other in the dark holes of the night. That's my commandment. This is Nikki G from Better Commander signing off.